right. Hello, everybody. My name is Anesu Samuel Masango with you here at Resilient 7 Youth Movement. I know. We've been away for a while. It has been a while, but here we are. We're back. Programs rolling out online and offline, and we are so happy to be here with you today, and we want to hear from you. You have our contact details. You write down in the comment section. Write to us. Where do you want us to come and run a program for you? Be it youth empowerment, grooming and etiquette, be it drug awareness, mental health, or any program. Just let us know, and we will make it happen. And today is a special day. This is a special recording because I am joined here today by Nyasha Chekerwa. I started talking with Nyasha Chekerwa not long ago, and he's like, man, I'm itching to share my story. So, so that's what has brought us here today. And Nyasha is going to tell his story, and hopefully it's going to help somebody. And so this particular video today is aimed at, you know, motivating somebody out there to keep pushing in life. And it is also aimed at drug awareness and, making sure that you're well informed of the possibility of you actually going clean and leaving behind a life of bondage, should I say, with these substances, and that it is possible to live the rest of your life in recovery. So yes, here we are today, and so I'm just going to ask Nyasha to introduce himself in a few words. Nyasha.
Hello, everybody. Thank you again, Anesu, for having me here. I am Nyasha Chekerwa. I'm currently also residing in the United States of America. I am a caregiver slash CNA slash phlebotomist, which I really enjoy because it's nice helping people. I am I'm a lovable person. I'm a happy person. I love God. And I thank God because if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be sitting here today, as you shall see as we reveal more in the story. And I hope we get to, I hope my story gets to help people out there. The reason, like I'm saying, I love God is because I am sitting here because of Him. And if it wasn't for Him, maybe teaching me a lesson so that I bring it to you people. So this is where we are. I'm not that good at introductions, but we can start off from there.
That does it, man. It's pretty good. That does it. Now we know,
Right. Yes.
who Nyasha is, and it's really great. We'll now get to know more of your story. And as a Christian-based youth movement, we really love to hear people, say, God, God did
Mhm.
this for me. It's really great because we know it's only through His help and His leading that we can really do anything in life. So thank you so much. Great introduction. Hey, the slashes, man. Slash. I'm like, wow. Okay, due respect. Great. Okay, so let's start with let's talk about your life and say um let's start with say family and upbringing.
Okay.
How was that, like, how has it shaped your life to where you are today?
Well, one thing that I can say about my family, which was always good and is good until now, is that I grew up in a family full of love.
Mhm.
Full of love, and we were Christian based. In the Seventh Day. I'm from the Seventh Day denomination, and we grew up there from our grandparents,
Mhm.
our mothers to our generation. And as we even try to pass it on to our kids, the main thing that was in our family was a lots and lots of love.
Yes.
So I had a beautiful upbringing. I won't lie to you. It was amazing because of the love I had filled me up from such a small age that I just, everywhere I would go, it was just bursting out of me.
That's
Yeah.
great. Great. I love to hear that. So you grew up in a family filled with love. You felt loved. You gave out love, and and you growing up as a kid, you obviously had friends, right?
Yes.
And how have they, because I am more of taking the holistic approach. You do not grow up as an individual. Your family influences, the friends and the community also influence. How about those, the friends and community in which you grew?
Well, what I can try say is that I had a lot of friends.
Mm.
I think even people who used to even hate me, I still just consider them as my friends,
Yeah.
you know. But then I had those selected few
Mm.
that I really were close to. And then, see, as we grew up also,
Mhm.
I got depression at a young age.
Oh.
But as you know, in Zimbabwe and in our African culture, it's something that was shunned upon that, hey, come on, this is only for white people. It doesn't affect us.
We
And
don't we are strong people, be a man.
exactly,
Be an
exactly.
African, yeah.
So like I think I was like 14 or maybe 15. That was my first attempt of suicide.
Oh.
Because despite having all this love around me and despite being like I was like the star of everything,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? And I love to shine, you see now. But then I had no one I could really talk to because everyone was around me for that, what can I say, that popularity or to be associated with the cool kids. I was like one of those cool kids at school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So with all of that, I really had nobody that I could turn to.
I
And
see.
then at my attempt of suicide,
Mhm.
unfortunately, it wasn't caught then because of um, how I got to get to hospital and what happened at hospital, and they couldn't catch it at that time. And then, having my parents coming over and seeing me because I was at a boarding school when this happened. And
Yeah.
then when my parents coming over, and then I got that attention and that love, and then I kind of snapped out of it, but it was already a problem. You see now,
Yeah.
that's where the problem started. So as I went on, the problem was there,
Mhm.
but I tried to ignore it, even if we talked about it amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
I remember even telling somebody who was like, I think I'm depressed. And I was like, dude, are you serious? That's some white people problem. We
Yeah.
do not go there. But I was also in the same boat.
Yeah.
I was actually looking over my balcony on the 14th floor of an apartment, wanting to jump out. But I was also telling somebody that. You see now. So yeah, it's very complex. But then you see, God also has a big role in this
Mhm.
because no matter what,
Mhm.
even though I used to push him aside,
Mhm.
and I was living in the world for sure.
Mhm.
When God would call or when God would speak, I would hear him.
Yeah.
When God would show up, I would see him.
Yeah.
I would never disrespect him that way. The only way I think I disrespected him was running away from my calling, you know.
Yeah.
But in all of that, he kept me. Even when I wished to die, he kept me. You
Yeah.
see now. And then I started off with alcohol.
Uh-huh.
People people think drinking is just drinking.
Mhm.
Okay, yes, drinking is just drinking, but it is a drug,
Yeah.
and you start to abuse it. And the only problem that we don't think that we're abusing it is because of the substance it comes in. It comes in as beer, it comes in as this, it comes in as that, and then the people you really like, especially in Zimbabwe, we don't even look like the people, we don't even consider them as alcoholics. We just like the slow life, you
Mhm.
know. But then we are all part of that because every day you want to go there, you want to drink, you want to, It's a time where you think you're relaxing, but you're just feeding into a certain addiction which you're just not aware of at the moment, at that time. You see now. And then I think we should also thank God with the way some of the systems are set up, even though it is bad right now with the cheap, low-level drugs that people are indulging in. But if we had that that era of really drug abuse in our country, I think a lot of us could have really gone down, you know. But we thank God for that. All right. I hope I'm not going too forward, made me want to.
No, it's okay. So this is you telling your story. You have full control of this. You
Okay.
see that I will not be interjecting. I won't be stopping you much
Okay.
because we want to hear the story from you as it comes to you. So yeah, my questions are just to lead you into it. But
Okay. All right. All right.
going right into I wow, that's really really powerful how you say you started experiencing depression at an early age of 14,
Mm-hmm.
and and you're going through all this and even denying it to the people around you, like who are going through the same thing, and you wouldn't open up to them. You would actually just tell them, you know what, that's a white people thing. We don't do that, we don't experience that, because so many people experience that. And I just want to say, if you are going through something like that, seek help. It's really important to find somebody to talk to. At Resilient 7, we can give you access to a trained social worker, someone you can actually talk to, and they can help you through things like this. And we could actually as well link you up to other help as needed. And yeah, so talk to somebody, and it's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for sharing all that with us. So you say it all started with alcohol,
Yeah.
and then from there it went on to to what else? What else came in? And well, before we go to that, let me just ask this: what led you to start drinking alcohol? Was it the depression, or was it like some peer pressure? Was it something else, or just curiosity? What put you on that path?
Well, you see, that was the thing. You see, because of, like I said, I was built around love, but nobody um, I guess people didn't like really have time to really talk to me. I was just that funny, entertaining person. You know what I mean?
Have those
So
meaningful conversations.
yes, exactly. So now I got to a point where I blocked out everyone basically. And then I would have certain people that I would feel cool being around and feel comfortable being around. That's when I started smoking marijuana, started smoking cigarettes, and I started drinking. And then now when I'm drunk or when I'm high, I've got this hype that everybody wants to be around. And to be honest, for all these years, for over 20 something years, I could not be the same person when I'm sober and when I'm drunk or when I'm high.
I see.
I
Hmm.
would actually prefer to be high or drunk than to be sober because that's how I could really like spark up the party. I could talk to people, make people laugh because I'm now in my zone, what I would consider.
Vibe. You're
Exactly.
bringing the vibes, you're bringing the energy. Yeah.
Well, now I remember. So now that went on. So you see now, my therapy in my depression was alcohol, marijuana, and sex.
Hmm.
And then it got more of the alcohol, less of the marijuana. Like when I moved to South Africa in 2010, when I moved to South Africa, I got there, the marijuana was not exactly like what I was used to. So I left it. But then I started drinking more and more. And that's when I drowned more and more in my depression. Like I was saying, that I would be at night by myself and I'm drunk and I open up the balcony and I look outside and I can really look down and say, you know what? I can just jump and just end all of this. Because that's the thing with depression. It gets you to the point where you just want to end everything.
Yeah.
You feel like you're better off with everybody. You feel like everyone else will be better off if you're gone.
Right.
Nobody understands what you're going through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it keeps pushing you to this phase of, you know what, let me just go.
Mhm.
To be honest, some of my friends who have passed on because of that, because of depression, I can really say I can kind of understand them, because I have attempted that, not once, not twice, but like 3 or 4 times, you see. And I thank God that He pulled me out of that.
Yeah.
He preserved me for a certain reason. You see, I got alcohol poisoning. I got to get like my eyes getting yellow and all because of drinking so much. You see, until I ended up saying, you know what, let me stop drinking this, let me drink this, instead of even leaving it. Because, like I said, it was more of my medication
Oh,
to
you thought
my
it's the
depression.
brand. It's the brand. No.
Yes, that's the brand.
No
It's
more
the brand.
tequila.
And
Now I'll move to
yeah,
vodka. Maybe that's better.
exactly. So I have basically drank everything, any spirit under the sun, any beer under the sun, and everything. And like in that moment when I was drinking, I'm entertaining. I'm the funniest one. I'm people where that people are like, where is he? He has to be here, you know? So, and then that was not fulfilling. Then I got introduced. I used to do drugs here and there in my country, but it was not as serious because I leaned more on alcohol because I wanted that. And I didn't want to be knocked off or whatever. But then it got to a point now where, as my depression was going over through the years and I wasn't talking to anybody, I was talking to my liquor. And even when I tried to talk to some people, it's just one of those of, you get over it because you're the strongest one we know. You're the funniest one we know. Come on, you don't even have grudges with people. I'm like this different person. But that different person of mine was that aspect. I think was that person who was that that Nyasha, who was brought up in love, who was brought up as a Christian, who was brought up close to God, and who was being called by God and was rejecting God. That's how I could always overcome so many obstacles along the way. You see now, because I knew where to run to. But now, when I was safe, I would leave and go back into the world to have what I wanted and look for what I wanted. So even in the point of when I'm depressed and thinking of killing myself, I'm not thinking of God. No, I'm thinking I set him aside. And then when that does not happen, and then I'm in trouble, I start looking for him. And when he does come through, I'm now back to happiness, and then it's back to I.
I see.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Like you feel like now, he's
Mhm,
there, he's rescued you out of it, and then now you become comfortable in this and you forget him, and you
mhm.
are like, okay, now what do I want? And
Exactly.
trying
And
to,
then I just want to tell everyone who's listening, you see, in this whole journey of mine, one thing I was always conscious of is that God was there
yeah.
in my drinking, in my immoral activities. When I started drugging,
Mhm.
when I started really drugging,
Mhm.
I got to a point even where I said, okay, God, I think you want to show me something. Because at that point, I had planned to myself where I really say I'd hit rock bottom.
Mhm.
I wanted to go in front of a train and let a train run me over. I
Yeah.
just wanted to get so high
Mhm.
that I was just going to stand. I was just going to wait for the train. I knew what time it would come. I'd already planned everything.
Yeah.
And this train was just going to run me over. But surprisingly, the guy I used to drug with and go through my addiction with at that moment, at that time, I had never given him any hint or any clue that those were my ideas and that's what I was thinking of
Yeah.
doing.
Mhm.
One, I had set a date for my suicide. 2 days before as we're taking some heroin, and I was just about to smoke crack. And as we were laying back smoking our crack, we're talking. From nowhere, he just starts saying that, can you imagine those people who get run over by trains, those people who commit suicide, getting hit by a train? No, and I looked at him and I was like, what do you mean? He goes, people get run over, the head is there, the body's there, and then the whole crime scene, it's like takes weeks just to take out each and every bit of you. He made it so gruesome. It made me think that, okay, but I did not focus at that point. At that time, I saw that, okay, I have never given this guy a hint that I want to kill myself. I have never been in any mood or so depressed that he would ever think that I would want to kill myself. But this is God here speaking to me.
Yeah.
And as I was still smoking, yes, and drugging, I said, okay, it is time for you to show me your way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I went back to my family. I went into rehab, right? The steps that we all take. But if you, as an individual, you're not yet there, it's hard for you to move on. Because, to be honest, every day for me, it's a fight, but it's a fight which is getting better because I talk more to God. I talk more to people around me, I focus more on the good things, and I focus more not on the past, like my bad past of when I used to drink, I focus more on the past, how I wanted to be.
Okay.
That when I'm having a conversation with somebody and they're like, oh yes, you are a pastor, you always wanted to be a pastor, you know what I mean? So those are the good negative things, the positive things, I mean, in my life. Those are the things I reflect and look and lean onto.
Yeah.
Just like we're told in Proverbs. You see, people take lightly the word of God. Mm-hmm. But it is true. In Proverbs, we're told, lean. What do you do when you lean on something? You put your whole weight, your whole trust into God. Mm-hmm. So that's what I, for once, decided to do. Okay. Why I say I, for once, I decided to do is because I used to see people like me right now telling you about, I was like this, I was like that, and I'll be just like, oh, here we go again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know. And then, yes, you saw the light and then you got saved. I didn't have that understanding. Mm-hmm. And worse, as me growing up in the Seventh-day denomination and knowing the Bible and having so much interest in God's word, I knew so many things that for sure I would be scolding the people who are saying that they are saved. Yeah. I'll be looking down upon them thinking, okay, we're all saved and I know the Bible. So what are you going to tell me? Yeah. There's nothing you can tell me. And I was comfortable in my sin. Mm-hmm. But today, when I give an example like this, that's why I said, we're told in Proverbs, lean, and take that example of literally leaning.
Getting onto something, yeah.
Do not come to God and say, I want you to do this for me.
Yeah.
Get to God and say, here I am. Mm-hmm. I truly want to be transformed. It's not going to be easy. Mm-hmm. It's going to be hard, but I need your strength to get me there. Yeah. It is your plan why I'm here right now. Yeah. It is your plan that took me through all these things. It is your plan why I'm alive and I'm listening to what is happening right now. So what more can I do than just trust in you? Yeah. So I relapsed. Mm-hmm. You see why I had just gone there. Now we come back. Because I relapsed when I went through that process of, okay, let's see the psychiatrist. Let's do this. When we do it, yes, those things do help and they kind of put you a structure in a way, they give you a structure and they put you on a journey. But without God in that journey is impossible. Yeah. You see now, because you can like it or not like it. Mm-hmm. It is only through him why all things are the way they are. Yeah. And it's only through him why things will be possible.
Mhm.
That's why I gave the example of I used to
Yeah.
listen to stuff like this and shun upon the people, but like, oh, come on.
Mhm.
But look, I'm now that person. And I give all glory to God because I understand
Mhm.
that, you know what, whatever he has
Yeah.
is going through. And why I'm saying it's not easy is because this, don't think that I'm completely saved. I am saved because I'm alive. I am breathing. I can stand and give my testimony, that, okay, this is what happened to me.
Yes.
This is how I think you can probably be helped. But,
I love your T-shirt, by the way.
oh, thank you very thank you very much. But, and then, yeah, we're also going to get that I think us more as Christians and the youth, we need to wear, things that reflect God's message to the world.
Amen.
You see, but then if you do not totally give yourself up,
Mhm.
you're still going to go back and forth, back and forth. I have, like I said, I have been saved because I'm actually here, but I am suffering
Mhm.
each and every day. For me to get down and pray, something might come on my phone. Not even the phone is even too far. Something might just come into my thoughts.
Yeah.
And then I have those flashbacks, the time when because sin is also something which is good. The devil makes sin enjoyable.
Oh.
So flashbacks of the times when I used to use and have fun, and they come, and that craving comes.
Yeah.
Just even 2 hours before this interview, I had something like that. But what did I do? I said, no, God,
Mhm.
because it's a damaging process that was part of my life that is there. But when I look at it, I weigh the options.
Mhm.
Like we are told, come, let us reason and see what is better. So then I just put it on the scale that, okay, yes, I'm feeling like, okay, yes, I'm feeling like I can go back to doing that. But what does it profit me? Nothing.
Mhm.
What does it do? It destroys me. And it's not only me, but it's the people around me.
Mhm.
My last relapse where I completely stopped, I relapsed and I saw the faces of my sister,
Mhm.
my fiance,
Mhm.
my uncle,
Mhm.
and my loved ones.
Mhm.
Like coming from using and going to where they are and seeing the disappointment, the terror,
Mhm.
the shame, the hurt,
Yeah.
because I had never seen it before.
Yeah.
But seeing it at that point, something that made me say, no, what am I gaining in this?
Yeah.
Why should I be controlled by this? The world seriously is coming to an end. And it's not going to wait for you to march into heaven.
Mhm.
It wants to go into destruction with you.
Yeah.
So it is the little things,
Mhm.
the things that we think that do not matter are the ones which actually matter.
Yeah.
Because once you just slip up, it is done. So when it comes to substance abuse, alcohol, like I'm saying, people always take alcohol so lightly. But have you seen how much you drink in a week? If you're somebody that every day you need to drink something, you have to be somewhere, you are obviously getting there to that addicted level.
Yeah.
And you see, the thing that the devil does in our lives, he says, come on, look, you're taking care of your kids, you're taking care of yourself, the wife is happy, everybody's happy, and what's wrong with drinking? Come on, Christians, you're just too much. But what are we then told? It might not lose track right now, but where you're going,
Yes.
if it's something that takes you off from God,
Mhm.
why would you want to do it?
Yeah.
You see now, that's how we get entrapped with the devil.
I see.
In my journey, every time, if I'm drunk, if
Mhm.
I'm high and someone quotes a Bible verse,
Mhm.
it'll be 2 hours of us talking about God
Yeah.
because of that seed that was in me.
Mhm.
If I was amongst those who you call the worst of this earth, but if someone mentions a verse, I would turn and why? Because that's how he wanted.
Yeah.
To be honest, in my past, bad, what we consider bad, because God loves all his children, even the murderers, right? But in my past, I believe that I was in there for something.
Yeah.
Now that I've come out of it, it is better because I can really stand here and I'm ashamed of my actions, but I'm not ashamed to truly come and be honest, to say, what sin have I not committed? And it's not a competition, but it's things that I went through so that today all glory can be given to God because I stand here, one, healthy. That is something that I'm telling you, is something that baffles me. And today, healthy, right? Strong. It's even hard to sometimes elaborate that it is so good. It is so good. And I can't really get that much deep into so many details, but if I am to maybe play some of the scenes from my life, some people will even run away. Like, no, I don't think I can do that.
You know, associate with this person. I totally get you. Yeah.
Yeah, because I got to a point that I was not afraid. I got to a point where I'm not afraid of policemen.
Yeah.
When I say a policeman, when people are shaking, I'm not.
Yeah.
Because that's how hardcore I had become. And in the midst of even being bad, I could walk up to a cop with drugs in my pocket and actually greet and have a conversation with them because I just had this thing in me. That's, in fact, we can just say that demon in me, that's how it was so much in control, you know? But then when it was time to let it go, I had to let it go. And like I'm saying, it is not easy. Let no one lie to you. That no, you've stopped and it's hard. But what you look at, like what I personally look at, I look at God strengthen me each and every day. Every day I say no is one more step closer to God. Every time I say, let me stop thinking about this, it's one step more to God. I look at it as just this phase since I'm still in recovery, but soon it's going to, not that it's going to be over, but soon I will be able to a point that if any thoughts trying to come, I can block them out automatically. I was not born with these thoughts. It's something that happened along the way. So it can be set aside. But what cannot be set aside is the giver of life,
right?
Especially the giver of eternal life. The protector, we cannot set him aside, but we can lean to him and his understanding.
Today, we need to give you a pulpit, my man, because you are going all in.
I'm just so, like I said, I used to seriously, I used to see people and they would talk like that. I'll be like, but now I understand because when you see him, when God really shows up for you, let me tell you, everyone who's watching this video right now, I wish I could take my brains out and give them to you so that you can you just can see, because if you are alive right now, if you are listening to this right now, if you are functioning and doing, cast all your worries on him and stop worrying. Focus on him. Ask him what he wants to do and just start improving everything around you. That's all you need to do. Like I said, it's not easy. Those thoughts, those temptations will come, but you have to fight them. And the only way you can fight them is you continue progressing around you. Prayer. Like I was telling you, it's so easy that you think, I need to pray. But the devil will come and say, but you need to get down on your knees. Where you cannot get down on your knees. So now you're like, for sure, I need to get down on your knees. And then someone calls, You've already skipped that. That's how simple it is. So as you think that I need to say a prayer, just start saying that prayer in your heart. Thank you, God, right now for me managing to talk to you because I can through Jesus Christ. Help me. Do not, you know what? Help. We can talk, we can jump, we can stand on mountains, but the only person who can really give us help, and we thank Jesus Christ, because through him we get our connection to God. And that connection is there, and that's the connection we need to maintain. And that's the connection, that's the foundation where everything will go through. It is not us addicts who are just going through a lot. A lot of people are going through a lot. So it is better if we're trying to fix ourselves, we try to even fix those around us. You know what I mean? Because right now, a lot of people can say, yeah, and you know, like this actually happened in the church, where people used to talk a lot about, oh, he's now a drug addict, he's now this and this. But today I stand in front and preach with them. That's God's plan. And I think those people, if they haven't realized that, you know what, God is so powerful, that this man, we used to talk about him, backbiting. But today we look to him to say, hey, can you please come and preach? And don't forget, this is not my word, it's his word. I'm just came to accept, because like I said, before I used to run away from my calling, but now I've come to accept that, you know what, it is there. That's why I am here today. And it's not just me being called that you can sit back and say, you're a pastor and, you know, you're called to preach, so that's why you know. Everybody, you just, even you being sitting in the benches of the church, you know, make somebody want to come. You're just greeting people as you get there, just smiling. There's somebody who says, man, I want to go see that. You have a purpose. And not only in the church, even outside in the communities, amongst our people, you have your purpose. And the only way we start to realize our purpose is when we submit and come to be truthful with only, you know what, you can lie to anybody, but the only person you cannot lie to is yourself.
That's true.
Because you can tell yourself, I've got a BMW, but yourself will know that there's no BMW outside. But I can lie to you right now that, my guy, I've got the latest Benz. Yes, I've got it. Yes, yes. I mean, a big house, everything. Yes. But as soon as I come here, I look in the mirror, it's me and you.
Yeah.
And then there is. So why would you want to lie to yourself, especially when you are going through all these terrible, excruciating experiences? You know what I mean? When you're in drugs, for the women, you know you have to use your body. You have to meet people. You know, you're not bathing. You're always dirty. You know what I mean? Even in the drinking of it, you're just everywhere, both men and women. Why would you, once you come out of that dirt, come out of that life, you start being truthful with yourself. You start stepping forward to being what you were before. Because don't forget, you were not born in a life like that. It was just the pulling down of the deceiver, the great one, to build, to pull you down. And I believe amongst all those people who especially use all these substances, you have a light in you that we cannot see, but the evil one and his soldiers can see. That's why you got so attacked. Because even if you look at, you know, let's look at what we consider the most dangerous people on earth, the ones who are murderers and all. When you go through their history, you find out they used to go to church. They were intelligent. But why? And you see, why we don't even blame God is God then allows it to happen, because when they are in jail or when they are on death row, he gets back his person from the deceiver. That's why we're told not to judge at all. So when we come there, that's what I'm saying, the honesty of yourself, to look yourself in the mirror and say, I want to be changed. I want to do right. I want to leave these substances. I want to live a clean life, which, don't forget, you were living before. It is not something new. It is something that you have done and you enjoyed it. You took the wrong steps. is let me not say you, but we took the wrong steps when we detoured, thinking that there's a light, or there's it was camouflaged in a way that made it look so good. You know, like I said, when I used to drink, I'm the one who was the life of the party. So without a drink, I do not make, yeah, I do not make, I would not be able to drink. I mean, when I drink, I would not be able, sorry, let me rephrase that. When I don't drink, I would not be able to function. So I would definitely want to have a drink. I would walk into a restaurant. While people are looking for a table, I'm already by the bar. By the time they find the table, I've got 2 shots, 3 shots. I'm going to the table with my 3rd shot.
Yeah, it's it's a really really powerful story you have there, and all the advice that you know that you have
Yes.
to give. Yeah, right.
When I
So,
would get
Meeting is being recorded.
when I would get to a restaurant,
mm,
whilst people are looking for a table, I would go to the bar. And then I order 1, 2. By the time they get the table, if it's 3 or 4 minutes later, I'll go to the table with a double shot of whatever, of hard liquor.
mhm,
Why? Because I'm chasing that high, because I need to get into a certain mood where I expect to speak to people in a certain way. Now, when I was now in drugging, I remember we're sitting outside a liquor store, and I am seeing, and we're waiting for our dealer to come with the drugs. And then I see people coming out. That's when I realized I was an alcoholic. Because the time when I was told I was an alcoholic, even after having DUIs, I said to myself, no, I'm not.
mhm,
It's not denial. It's, yes, it is denial to a certain extent, but it's like the way we grew up seeing certain people living and being able to function and do this and do that. And so it was, no, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm normal. I'm taking care of my kids. I have a nice job. Come on, I have a nice house and everything. I'm not an alcoholic. It's this place. No, it is that.
mhm,
So the truth comes from you.
mhm.
Did I see myself that I had a problem? Yes. Did I confess it before? Yes, I did. And the people I confessed it to said, no, you're not.
Mhm.
Because I could feel that, no, something is wrong.
Yeah.
This is not normal. To the extent where I would go to work, I would drink like from morning until the time I go to work, and I go to work and I'm drunk. Call it a functioning alcoholic, call it what it was. At the end of the day, I was an alcoholic because I'm overdoing it. Then that's what caused me, because now alcohol was not satisfying that gap.
Mhm.
That's why I ended up in drugs.
Into more. Wow, that is, ooh, yeah, that's a lot, and a lot of good advice that you have said, that you have there, and I love how you got to a point when you were like, I'm powerless in myself to do
Mhm.
this, and you said I need to tap into something greater than myself, and you said you learned to lean, to
Mhm.
lean on God, and that
Mhm.
really helped you a lot. So that is really powerful. Thank you so much. And I've a question, to say, like, your first attempt at quitting and the consequent attempts, like,
Mhm.
briefly, how did those go, and how did you finally manage to have that attempt at quitting that you say this was it? Like, yeah.
To be honest, yeah, I think all addicts, and all those people who are in a point where they are with whatever they're suffering with, is you really want to come out of it.
Mhm,
You really want to be normal.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? And then you're giving that chance.
mhm,
But like I said, when you come, like what happened for me is I got to a point, like I said, seriously, I would say, God, why is this happening to me? Why am I in this situation? I remember I was in this broken down car, and I had a crack pipe, and I was actually lighting a hit, asking those exact questions. That what is this? Is this like a lesson for me or something? Or I don't know. And then I came out of it, went to rehab because like I was like, no, I'm tired. I don't want this for myself. But I get to rehab. You talk to people and you want to get better and you are enclosed from the world. It's more like being in jail, you know? When you're not seeing too much and then you think, okay, I'm getting better and all of this. And then after that 30 days, you go back to the world. And now in the world, you want to do better, but you are still lying to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. I can do this. Lack of prayer, lack of associating with the people who are around you who can truly help you. You know, when I was asked, "Hey, how are you doing?" I'm fine, because I do not want that depression still kicking in, because I do not want to lay my problems onto other people. You know, and everyone is worried around me, so I'm fine. But no, I'm not fine. You know,
So when you say,
I'm I'm really struggling. I'm really because I'm having a trigger. Every time I smell this, I have a trigger. And every time I see this, it's a trigger. But I'm trying to fight, but I don't have a foundation where I'm fighting from. You see now? So then the planning starts. And once the planning starts as an addict, you really can't go back. Started planning, you know what? I think maybe I can do it on the weekends.
mm-hmm.
And then during the week, I'll just go to work and everything else. And then only on weekends. You do it on the weekend, and then next thing midweek, and then next thing you're back.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're back, you're crying again. Wow, what have I done? You know? But I had the opportunity of, after I said, what have I done? And like I said, I was in that point that every time when I would really use, I wasn't really seeing what was going on with my family, but I knew that like I was disappointing them. So my way out all of this, like I said, was just to get high and commit suicide. And just that's the way it was just supposed to end naturally. For me, that became something which was natural. That okay, you know what? I've messed up. I've relapsed. So what? I am going to what? Use so much, get high so much, have so much fun, and then I'm out of this world. You see now, not thinking, and you see this is the problem with these drugs and all these addictions. You're not even thinking about your family, those people who are around you. You know what I mean? It's all you. That's how evil that those things are. It's all you. But then I got to a point that where I went to this wonderful rehab, not top class, not nothing, where people there really wanted to help, really wanted to listen. I had a doctor who I then opened up to, like I said, honesty. Because when he said, when was the first time you committed suicide? That's when I remembered, oh, damn, when I was in Form 1, that's when I tried to commit suicide. You see, so I went through that process of saying, you know what, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
Then I was all so honest, opened up. Then I saw, people like, okay, you know what? Then, some people have their diagnosis and all of this, but then some of these things, you have to be real with yourself. You know what I mean? Just like, how it is with our African parents. They grew up beating us so that we could be what? We could be straight. But in another nation, that's abuse. You know what I mean? So you cannot then say, I got abused. No, you do not get abused. You are being taught the way of life. And we should be thankful for that. You know what I mean? Because look at the ones who are not getting a smacking, how they're going through that, right? So when you pick up some stuff, not everything, you pick up what is good for you, because honesty is the best thing, right? And even the second time after rehab, I thought I had got it together.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, and I tried to move away from the area that I was, right? And then when I came back to the area, again, the edges, why? Because I still do not have that foundation.
Quick question, did you restructure, say, the people that were around you and say, okay, now I know we are really good friends, we've been through so much together, but you live like this, and I'm trying to go into this particular direction. So this is it. And you just left those associations, or you learned to lean on this foundation, but keeping those associations. What was it for?
No. Well, my first mistake the second time was I tried to, get to those things, back to some of my friends and be like, no, I was like I'm saying, I was still lying. I wasn't being honest. I was still lying. Guys, I can get through this. I can just do this when we can do it like this and then. But they know. And even the people I was around, like in meetings and all of this, who do talk about Christ and all of this, it's basically self-educating. No one is going to church. No one is talking about Bible studies. No one is talking about these meetings. You see, all of those things, I want to tell you right now, youth on this platform, all of those things are so important. Going to church, having Bible studies during the week, having prayer sessions, those things are so, so, so important. That's why you see every time you try to study it up, the devil comes in and breaks it up, because he knows how powerful it is when people come together for such. So, when we set aside the thing of, I don't want to go to church. No, you are the church. That's just an assembly you're going to be part of, which then combines the church. That assembly, be part of it. Because if you're not part of that assembly, that's where you fall in between the cracks. So that's where I was at. Now, when I relapsed the last time, and then, like I said, I saw my sister and my fiance and everyone around me who really loved me, I could see their faces for the very first time after I had abandoned them and went to use. That's when I saw that, okay, this is not good. And the person who actually told me that stop lying to yourself was actually my sister. You need to be truthful with yourself. What you did, because what I did was basically leave everyone when I was at their hype of, because I had some alcohol, and now, alcohol is now calling them, no, you need something else. And I just drove out, left people. In the next hour, they were now all worried, and they already knew. And as I was using, I was lying to myself that I would just tell them that I was at a club. How stupid is that? You see, that's what the drug does to you, right? Yeah. And as I'm lying to myself the whole night, in the morning, I come back, now I'm facing them, and the disappointment, the pain I saw, that's when I was like, no. And like I said, my sister telling me, stop lying to yourself. I went up, got into my bed, and I said to myself, okay, I don't need to tell anyone. I need to tell myself. And that's what I did. I started talking to myself. Let go of everything. I let go, said cigarettes are the ones which keep giving me this craving. Done. I never thought in a million years with the way, okay, I used to smoke that I would ever be. I used to actually say, I don't think I would be able to let go of smoking. But at that point, when I started being truthful with myself, and which was for sure, because every time I'll smoke a cigarette, I have the kind of craving to smoke crack or to use heroin or alcohol, whatever it is. So now that's the part I had to cut off.
Wow.
Now I have to also be around people who are like-minded.
Yes.
People who build. People, okay, who even if I don't reveal to them, what am I gaining? I'm gaining more Bible knowledge. What do I love? I love learning about the Lord. So I went there. You see now, because there is nowhere else. And when I got on that foundation, I'm telling you, it was like I had been set on fire.
Wow.
But like I said, it is not also easy. Let me not lie to you. And I will never lie to you. Like Paul in the Bible says, I will always tell you the truth. I will never lie to you. It is not easy. But the hope that I have is every time when I say no, God is saying yes. Yes. Every time when those thoughts creep in and I dwell on them for like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, then I realize, no, I thank God that thank you for bringing me back to consciousness. Yes. I open my Bible. I open a book. I try to dwell on other things.
Mhm.
It's not going to be easy. It's not something which happens overnight, because it is a big part of your life which has been damaged. And like I said, sin, the great deceiver and his angels have got a way of producing sin in a nice way. Yes, the time when I'd given up and saying, yes, it was now my downtown in the sin, in the drugs, in the using. But don't forget, even in that time, there was the time of the, oh yes, this is everything is going well. Let's do this. And those are the memories which they will come, where you think, I should have done this way, I should have done it. But no, that is past. You have to leave it, let go. It's hard, but you have to try, keep kicking it, keep sweeping out the door. It's like when a door is open and the wind blows in dust. You have to keep sweeping it out,
Yeah.
so that your house is clean. You see now, so that you can be clean.
Man, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. If I let you keep talking, we'll be here all day.
All night.
Yes, yes. Look, it's been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You've opened up all this. You've been, vulnerable with the world, basically everyone who's going to get an opportunity to see this, and we are so thankful for the advice you give. You say, don't lean on your own understanding, lean on God, and you say, don't lie to yourself. Just be
Mhm.
truthful to yourself, and it's not gonna be easy, but keep pushing, keep going. I know I always say to myself, you're only defeated when you get knocked down and you stay on the floor. As long
Exactly.
as you're getting knocked down and you're getting up and fighting on, then you still have a chance of survival, and God is right there. I love it when you say each time these thoughts, these urges, these triggers come and I say no, I know God is saying yes, and it's improving,
Mhm.
your ability to resist all this each time.
Yes.
So thank you
Yes.
so much. Incredible story you have there. And I hope many more people will get to hear this and learn from it. And hopefully it will help somebody out there. Thank you everyone for joining us today. This was Nyasha Chekerwa. You heard the story. I've nothing to say. I'm like, man, he says there's nothing he has not done. And I believe him. Like, you can also get to a point where he says he's now clean. He's, of course, he identifies and says, I'm still recovering, and you always
Mhm.
recovery. But, it is possible, although hard, be ready to fight and keep fighting, and you can make it. Thank you so much for joining us. And Nyasha, I'll give you one final word you're going to say in a few sentences, one or two. If you go too far, I'll cut you off. But yeah, one or two lines,
No,
and
and
we'll call it a day. Yes.
all I can say is to God be all the glory.
All right.
Let us look to Him,
Mhm,
everything,
mhm.
nothing more. And you are set.
Great.
Mhm.
To God be the glory. Let's give glory to God, and let Him lead our lives. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I appreciate this so much, and I hope everyone who's joined us will also, benefit from it. And if you are not the person in this situation, a loved one, a friend, go ahead and share this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so that we increase our visibility to other people who might also need this. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Resilient 7 Youth Movement is back with programs, and you're going to be seeing them coming. Remember, be resilient, stay resilient. Goodbye for now.